So a couple days ago, I made a guide on how to get the B-52 in the Nuclear Thunder event, and apparently a Russian version has been heavily requested, even though I was planning on making one anyway, so here we are. There are two main aircraft we'll be using, depending on where you are in the grind, the MiG-23 MLD and the MiG-29. The MiG-23 they provide you with as a loaner is more than capable of consistently getting the nuke, so don't let that discourage you. There are a lot of strategies out there and everyone's experience is going to be a little different, but using these guidelines, I have almost never walked away from a completed match without the Tu-95. Let's get into it. The MiG-23 MLD, affectionately described as a flying barn door that somehow goes Mach 2.4. It is not the most elegant aircraft, it is not a subtle aircraft, and the strategy I'm about to describe to you is not an elegant nor subtle strategy. I call it rapid fire stupidity, because it is fast, it is brain dead, and it works so consistently that I once got accused of cheating mid-match. That's not a joke, and I'm very proud of this. So here's how it works. Your loadout is the 4 R60Ms and the 2 R24Rs. Don't overthink it, the R60Ms are your primary weapons and the R24Rs are your cleanup crew for anything dumb enough to be flying high. When the match starts, you want to climb, but just a little bit above the multipathing altitude of 60 meters. The reason for this is slightly sneaky. When you spot an enemy and pitch your nose down to engage, the radar is automatically forced into MTI mode. You don't get to choose your radar modes manually on the MLD, so this is how you trick it into doing what you want. The MTI filters out ground clutter and makes locking low-flying targets dramatically easier. And by controlling your altitude, you're essentially controlling your radar for free. Once you're locked, you either shoot them with an R24R if you're flying high enough, or head on them with an R60M. Now, here's the thing about the R60M that people underestimate. At short range, this missile pulls hard, like concerningly hard. Head-ons work because the closure rate is so high that by the time they see the missile diamond and think about reacting, the missile is already shaking their hand. Of course, there are people who smartly pre-flare, which makes this more difficult, but all you have to do is avoid them in a head-on and find your next victim. You have 4 of these, use all 4, then reload and do it again. The R24Rs are basically there for the one guy every match who decides he's going to be a tactical genius and climb. Pick him off. He thought he was safe up there, he was wrong. The beauty of rapid fire stupidity is that it's entirely based on tempo. You're not trying to out dogfight anyone, you're not trying to out BVR anyone. You're just repeatedly running into the mess and extracting kills before anyone knows what's happening. It's less of an air combat strategy and more of a mugging. A very successful mugging. Nuke level mugging, apparently. Okay, so the MiG-29. Same brain, bigger budget. Everything I just described for rapid fire stupidity still applies here, but the MiG-29 does it better across the board. The radar is significantly more capable, and R-73s are also significantly more capable than the R-60M. So, if you are already doing rapid fire stupidity in the MLD and feeling good about it, welcome to the Deluxe Edition. One thing I want to specifically call out for MiG-29 head-on runs, pay attention to which pylon your missiles are launching from. This sounds like a small detail, but it actually matters a lot. Your pylons are offset from your center line, so depending on which side the missile comes off of, you want to slightly adjust your aim to account for that offset. Line it up properly and your probability of kill goes up noticeably. It sounds fiddly, but once you start noticing it, you can't really unnotice it. Now, the MiG-29 also unlocks a second strategy that the MLD can't really pull off as well, the opening climb R27ER spam. At the very start of the match, before the merge, you'll pull up into a climb and just lob an ER at the enemy team as they're all sorting themselves out. Here's why it works. At the start of the match, basically everyone on both teams has just spotted each other on radar simultaneously, and RWR screens are going absolutely insane due to the copious amount of AA. There are so many warning tones going off that people are genuinely confused about which missile they're actually supposed to be avoiding. Your R27ER gets lost in a noise. Someone gets hit, you get a free kill before the first merge even happens. It's not a guaranteed kill, sure, but it's a free lottery ticket every single spawn, and when it pays out, it is incredibly satisfying. I want to give a quick shout out to the MiG-25. Even though it's not going to be your nuke grind aircraft, and honestly might not be getting you many kills at all, the MiG-25 is a flying engine block. It does not turn. Its radar has a discrimination of a brick. Try to use it in the dogfight is a form of self-punishment. However, and this is very important, The MiG-25 is exceptional at intercepting nukes. I don't fully understand the physics of what's happening, but nuclear-armed bombers in this game seem to have the infrared signature of a small star. The MiG-25, with its ARC-40 TDs, will run one of those down before it delivers its payload with shocking reliability. If you see a nuke bomber and you have a MiG-25 in your lineup, that's the moment it was born for. Let it fulfill its destiny. Alright, that's the Soviet nuclear guide. Russia struggles a lot in this event for a lot of players, but hopefully this gives you a path forward that doesn't involve crying into your keyboard. The MLD is underrated, the MiG-29 is legitimately good, and if someone accuses you of cheating, you're doing something right. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing, talk strategy, or just complain about War Thunder with other people, the Discord link is in the description. Come hang out. And if you're looking for a squadron, Late Flare is recruiting. We're trying to put together a competitive team for squadron battles, and if you're interested, the application is in the Discord. If this helped you out, drop a like, let me know in the comments whether rapid fire stupidity worked for you, and I'll see you in the next one.